Hello everyone, welcome to the Leader Impact podcast with Coach Genevieve. The show where we explore leadership, growth, and the stories that inspire positive change. Get ready to lead with purpose and make an impact. Welcome again in this episode. Today's episode is how to create a positive change as a leader. Interesting, right? So, welcome again. Today we're gonna dive again into John Maxwell book, Developing the Leaders Within You, and this is the 4th chapter. So, in Developing the Leaders Within You 2.0, John Maxwell reminds us that leadership and change are inseparable. Leadership and change are inseparable. If you're not willing to embrace change, you can't truly lead. But here's the challenge. People love progress, right? Yet many resist change. How can it be? So many people want to progress, to see their life like going in the right direction, but they resist to change. So the question is, how can we as leaders guide ourselves and others through change in a way that builds trust, momentum, and long-lasting impact? Actually, that's the challenge. So that's what we will explore today in this episode. So the first point is why change matters. So Maxwell put in this chapter, he put it clearly. Leaders are change agents. If you consider yourself as a leader, if you are in a position of leadership, actually you are a change agent. So if you don't know it, it's a big problem. And leadership exists because things need to move forward, actually. So people who doesn't want to see things moving, or who can't embrace change, will have a hard time manifesting their leadership. Because leadership exists because things need to move forward, not to stay the same. So without change, there's no growth, no innovation, no transformation. That's hard, right? So think about it. Every breakthrough in history, every successful organization, every personal transformation, it all happens because someone was willing to change the status quo. I love this expression. Challenge the status quo. That's my motto since 2 years, because I really need to get out of my comfort zone in so many ways, and I just know that I had to embrace change. So if I want to create this positive impact, I have to be ready to challenge the status quo. But here's the reality. Most people resist to change because it feels uncomfortable. Let's be real. Let's be honest, right? Change means letting go of the familiar. And that's where leadership comes in. Our role is to help people see beyond the discomfort. Beyond the discomfort, our role is to help them see the opportunity. So let's reflect on this. What change are you currently avoiding because it feels too risky or uncomfortable? And how might embracing it actually will unlock growth? You have to identify this change that you are avoiding, this change that actually you're even scared of thinking about it. But think about it. What growth can be unlocked if you dare embrace this change actually? Interesting. The second point is, what is the role of a leader in a change? Because yes, change is necessary, right? Growth is inevitable, but it would be better if, as a leader, we could know our role in change, in growth, and like create the environment where growth can just be manifested powerfully. What's the leader's role in change? So John Maxwell outlines several ways leaders create and guide change. So let me highlight three of them that are especially powerful. The first thing is to see the bigger picture before others do, right? Like to be able to see the opportunity, the hope, the potential before others do. Like you can come and have a team and have a situation and right away see the potential of this situation, even if it is, like a challenge, but you see the opportunity, like what will happen if we overcome this challenge. Like you have a big picture of the situation, because leaders must have vision. They anticipate what's coming, they see opportunities others miss, and they prepare the way forward. So the other point, which is important too, according to me, it's to be able to communicate hope and direction. So many leaders, like, they confuse people. They don't know how to communicate. Communication is the language of leadership. Communication is the language of leadership. So people don't just resist to change. Believe me, some of them are kind of C personality. They want to see the outcome a little bit. They want to have a glimpse on it before making a move. So everybody's not resistant to change, but they just need, to feel the hope, to see the worst, to have a clear direction. And sometimes we are not the leader that can communicate this hope and direction, but not everybody resists to change. Sometimes they fear it. So a leader's job is to replace the fear with clarity and hope. When something is clear, most of the time people, they are willing to make a move, right? So paint a picture of the future that inspires people to want the change. Okay? So the third thing, I cannot list all of it, but I choose these three. So the third thing is the model, to model the change first. Here's a leadership truth. People do what people see. So if you want to lead others, lead yourself first. Show the example. If you want your team to adapt, you must demonstrate adaptability yourself. If you want positivity during transition, you must show positivity first, right? You must be the example. So John Maxwell says, you cannot lead people to where you have not been. Because leaders, as he said, know the ways, show the ways, and go the ways. Oh, I love it. That's why leaders must work through change with courage, not just talk about it. All right, so we can reflect on this point. Which of these roles, for example, do you find most natural for you? All right, which one do you need to develop to lead change more effectively? Right, so the third point is turning resistance into buy-in. That's the dream of every leader. So now let's talk about resistance, because let's be real. People rarely line up excited about change, even those who like them. They always have, many things to think about, what will be the outcome and this and this. And this is normal, right? So they are not sheep. So they need sometimes just to have this reassurance that things will go in a good way. So how do leaders turn resistance into buy-in? So John Maxwell suggests three strategies. The first one is to start with small win. Don't introduce massive change all at once, just like in the military. Hey, everybody, this will change. This, you just have to forget about this. This is the new model. No, it doesn't work like this, right? So begin with achievable steps that build confidence. Small victories creates momentum generally. So just show them that, okay, this is the change, this is the vision of the change, right? But this is how we will start, like today, one step at a time. Okay. The other point is, so the first step is to start small. To start small. And generally with small wins because it creates momentum. The second point is help people get involved in the process. Don't do it all by yourself, right? Some leaders are just like dad and mom and they just want to do it by themselves for their little one, but actually it's not how it works for change. If you want to create a positive change, you need to help people get involved in the process because people support what they help create. When they can relate to something, when they recognize themselves, they can identify in something, right? They are more willing to go with it. That's the power of coaching, because coaching is a thought-provoking conversation and all the solution comes from the coachee, so they can tap on it, like identify this as they own reflection, they own solutions, so they are more willing to do it because they own it, right? So when people feel like they own something, they will be more eager to be part of the solution. So the other thing is to celebrate progress. Leaders, let's celebrate progress, even if it is a small one. Remember, the first point is to start small with small wins. So the second point is to involve people in the process, but not just be behind with a big stick and and just seeing only what doesn't work. Let's celebrate progress, even the small one. Every milestone, no matter how small, should be acknowledged, should be valued, and if there is something to correct, those should be corrected in a very smooth way so that everybody will learn, right? So celebration reinforces belief that the change is working. It's like acknowledging the small wins, so it create momentum. So I've seen this in coaching leaders. When they involve their teams, resistance turns into ownership. People move from why do we have to look what we accomplished together. So think about it. And now let's reflect on it. Think about a change you are leading right now. Something that a project, so any change that you want to read right now. Are you pushing it alone, or are you inviting people to participate in shaping it? Right? So the fourth point, and it's my last point for this chapter, is actually how to apply it, the application. So let me share a quick story. A leader I worked with was tasked with shifting his organization from traditional methods to digital tools. So the team was hesitant, some even afraid. But instead of forcing the change, he started with small steps. One new tool, one new process. He trained his team personally. Celebrate their progress and show how the change make their work easier. And everybody felt like, all right, so we are together in this. We are not alone, and actually, even if we make mistake, it will be like a lesson for us. So, I'm part of this process. I'm not alone. And over the time, the same people who resisted became advocates for the new system. Why? Because the leader didn't just demand change, he worked with them through it. So that's the essence of creating positive change. It's not about forcing, it's about inspiring and guiding. So here's the key takeaway for this chapter. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. This is one of my favorite quotes from John Maxwell. So as a leader, our job is to turn inevitable change into intentional, positive transformation. So this week, I challenge you to identify one positive change you can initiate, right? One positive change that you can initiate in your life, in your team, in your organization. So start small, communicate clearly, and model the change yourself. Remember, leadership is influence, and influence turns change into progress. So thank you for joining us in this episode. So I am very happy to be your growth catalyst today for this fourth chapter of Leading the Leaders Within You. Thank you for joining us in this podcast. So if today's episode inspires you, share it with a colleague, a friend who needs encouragement in leading change. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It will help us to spread the message and to keep creating positive change, right? Thank you again to all the leaders in this area. And don't forget, let's connect, leave a message so that I can be part of I can become your change partner. That's what Growth Catalysts do. So have a wonderful day.